Hi, everybody. Back again with more micro lessons. Remember, going to cover your content and the skill in 3 to 5 minutes. So today, I'm going to teach you how to predict the offspring based on the parents using Punnett squares. But this time, we're going to be focusing on incomplete dominance and codominance. Let's get started. First thing, incomplete dominance. So we have purebred red snapdragons crossing with purebred white snapdragons. Sometimes purebred can be called or considered true breeding, okay, because you have a homozygous parent. Now, in this case, you have homozygous dominant and homozygous recessive here, and they're going to be creating your heterozygous offspring. You can see here in the Punnett square, but now notice, not only um, that you are going to have heterozygous offspring as far as their genotype, but the phenotype here being represented, it's going to be pink instead of being red, where you have the uppercase R dominating. They're actually neither of them are dominating. They create a new phenotype, and that is going to be pink for your F1 generation. Now, if you continued out and you did an F2 generation, create a Punnett square from your F1 generation, you should receive or you should make one red, two pink, and one white. That's going to be your phenotypic ratio. But now, if you did it the genotypic side, you'd have one red, you'd have two heterozygous, and one homozygous recessive. And that one red one, sorry, was going to be homozygous dominant. Now, very, very important that while you are making your predictions that you keep in mind what the parents look like as far as their physical, but also their genotypic, and that can help you check your answers as you go through and create your Punnett square. Now, I want you to pause the video and I want you to give a try at this on your own. All right. See if you can create the same Punnett square that I created to make the F2 generation. Go ahead and pause now. All right, now that you've had a chance to pause, we're going to move on and look at we're going to look at codominance. So here we have the finished outcome of codominance, just taking a look at the phenotypes and the genotypes based off of these chickens. And you have your black chicken, you have your white chicken, and you can see you have your speckled chicken. But notice how the genotype is different. B and W are both represented. All right, B being black, W being white, but you can see you've created a new offspring. You created a new phenotype, and within that phenotype, both are represented. Unlike incomplete, where neither of them are represented. Now, in codominance, they both show up. Let's take a look at the Punnett square and see how that happened. So you notice in the Punnett square, you have your black parent and your white parent. All right, those two chickens, your black and your white, and they create a speckled chicken. All four of the offspring are going to be speckled. Okay, now I want you to think about what you did for your incomplete dominance, creating the F2 generation. Now I want you to do the same thing. I want you to pause the video. I want you to take your F1 generation of these speckled chickens and see what happens in that Punnett square for your F2 generation. All right, now the last thing we're going to take a look at is going to be blood typing. So with blood typing, it's actually going to be considering multiple alleles because we have three alleles instead of your normal two. You have your A, your B, and your O. O is always going to be recessive, and you notice here, anytime O is partnered with A or B, it's matched. You want the ones in red are your phenotype. So red is going to be your phenotype. So when you have A's together, obviously homozygous dominant, or two A's are going to be showing A. AB becomes codominant because both are going to be shown, A and B. And then you also, and as we said, O is always going to be recessive against the O is always recessive against the A and the B. All right, so take a look at this Punnett square and understand this is multiple alleles, and this is what happens inside of your body with blood typing. So as we wrap up, here are some things to keep in mind. And until next time, for your micro lessons, remember, continue to make wise predictions as you think like a scientist.